Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea from author and business consultant Irina Padres. She asked her followers a super simple question: do you feel rich or poor? And wow, the answer was stunning. It really pulls back the curtain on our relationship with money. So get this. A staggering 75% of the people who answered said they felt rather poor. And what's wild is that this feeling had almost nothing to do with their actual income. We're talking about people with comfortable lives, people you'd probably consider wealthy. So what in the world is going on here? Well, the author argues this isn't about your bank account. It's about what she calls a poverty of the mindset. It's this strange condition where someone could literally be earning $1 million a month but still feel poor because their whole relationship with money is just broken. It's not a financial problem, you know? It's more like a disease of the mind. And just like any disease, this poverty mindset has some really clear symptoms. So let's take a look at the difference between what financial health looks like versus financial sickness. And you can see if you spot any of these. Okay, now notice something really important here. Neither side of this chart mentions a specific dollar amount or salary. It's all about your approach. The healthy mindset is about being in the driver's seat, seeing money as a tool, having goals, always looking to grow. But the sick mindset, it's all about being reactive. It's impulsive spending, being careless, and even getting angry at other people's success. It's a huge difference in who's actually in control. This all leads to a really provocative, kind of shocking question. I mean, if this mindset is so damaging, if it causes so much stress and chaos, why do so many of us have it? Why would anyone choose to feel this way? The author points to a pretty startling answer, inspired by the work of psychoanalyst Eric Berne. The basic idea is that we sometimes get these secondary benefits from our own suffering. It's a weird thought, right? But in this case, being the victim, being poor and miserable, can be a really effective way to get attention and sympathy from people. Sometimes that can feel a whole lot easier than earning respect through your own achievements. Okay, I know, this idea might feel a little uncomfortable, but let's just treat it like a hypothesis for a second. Instead of just brushing it off, let's put on our lab coats, metaphorically speaking, and run a quick self-diagnosis to see if there's any truth to it for us. So the author gives us this incredibly simple but really powerful diagnostic tool to get started. And it's something we all do every single day without even thinking about it. We talk. So seriously, just take a moment and think about it. What are the things that dominate your conversations? Your chats with friends, your calls home, the breaks you take with coworkers? According to the author, the answer to that question is like a surprisingly accurate mirror that reflects your inner financial world. And here's the split. On one side, you've got conversations that are all about creating something. Goals, plans, new ideas, finding solutions. It's all forward-looking. But on the other side, the conversation is about being stuck. Problems, gossip, complaining. It creates this negative feedback loop that just reinforces that feeling of hopelessness, basically making it your reality. All right, here's another little test for you. Based on the author's research, she asked tons of people to finish this one sentence. If I become rich, then. And these were the most common fears that came up again and again. How many of these feel kind of true to you? Your answers can reveal these hidden, destructive beliefs we have about wealth that are actively holding us back. Okay, so we've diagnosed the illness, we've uncovered some of its sneaky hidden causes. Now for the big question, how do we cure it? Well, the author lays out a simple but definitely not easy two-part cure, and it all starts with a major shift in how you think. So here's the key. The cure begins the moment you take 100% ownership of your situation. No more blaming your boss, your bad luck, your past. It's this radical acceptance that your financial life, right here, right now, is the result of your choices. And this isn't about blaming yourself, not at all. It's about taking your power back. And by the way, this isn't just some abstract theory. The author lived it. At 22, her first business totally failed, left her $500,000 in debt. The insane stress from that led to a tumor diagnosis. I mean, she hit absolute rock bottom when she had to take 1,000 rubles from her mom just to cover her expenses. And it was in that moment of total failure, that she made a decision. No more excuses. She took full responsibility, and that's when everything started to change. So this is the heart of it all. This is the cure's recipe. Responsibility without action? That's just a nice thought. It doesn't do anything. But action without responsibility? That just leads you to blame someone else when things don't work out. You have to have both, working together, if you want to create real, lasting change. So what does that action actually look like? The author prescribes 3 really practical medicines. First, you gotta face the numbers. Get crystal clear on what's really coming in and what's really going out. Second, know your worth. Actually calculate your hourly value. This one step can completely change how you think about spending money. And finally, you shift from just waiting for a raise to actively managing your income with consistent, systematic effort. Okay, so you've started the cure, but just like with a physical illness, you can't just stop there. You need to build up your immunity to make sure you don't relapse. So, how do you build a financial mindset that's going to last? The author calls this lifelong prophylaxis, which is just a fancy way of saying preventative care. A huge part of this is developing what she calls proyavленность, a Russian concept that basically means having the courage to be visible, to really show up and present yourself and your value to the world. It's all about building a strong financial immune system through nonstop action, confidence, and just being willing to be seen. And that brings us to the end. You've got the diagnosis, you've got the prescription. The only thing left now is for you to take that first step. So the author flips all this knowledge into a direct challenge, which means the final question isn't really from her, it's for you. What's your first action going to be?